Hi everybody, welcome to My Big Tidy Up. My name's DeDe. Thanks for swinging by my channel today. Now if you're one of my regular tidy uppers, well hello, welcome back. I hope you've had a great week. And if you're new here, well welcome aboard. I'm glad you found me out here in YouTube land and let me get you caught up. So if you're new, you might not realize I just spent the entire month of January, and I do mean all 31 days, decluttering and trying to organize my home. And when I say declutter, boy did I ever. I tried to hit all of what I consider my problem areas. I tackled home decor, my kitchen, my wardrobe, office paper and clutter, organizers, the bathrooms, and let me tell you, I got rid of over 500 items and several, well, more than several, bags of trash. So I did try to organize as I was decluttering, but I found that after a month, and it's been a few weeks on some of these areas, I needed to go back, kind of touch up some of the organization. So I'm going to show you some of the revamping I did, and then I'm also going to show you some things that I did that I didn't record. So some of these places you haven't seen for a while, or I've organized them in a different way. So we're just going to kind of go through and do the whole shoot and match. I'm going to show you things that I've upgraded just in the last few weeks, and some things that I have had on the back burner that I took care of as well. So without any further ado, let's get this organization tour going and let's get tidy. Now, the first organizing update I want to share with you is here in the My Big Tidy Up closet. And I just worked on this last week, and I've been back again to make some changes. Now, as far as all of these labeled totes, I didn't change any of those, and I still do have some new storage containers here over to the left. But one change I have made is I have gotten rid of even more organizers, and I've used a few things out of here for some different organizing projects since last week. But the biggest change is over here to the left. If you remember, I had two of these plastic drawer sets stacked high on top of each other. Well, I was able to declutter so much last week, I was only using the top drawer in one of those, so I got rid of that. And I still do have everything in this top drawer for the My Big Tidy Up recording in YouTube. I've got my light and my tripod, but because I even decluttered all of my gift bags and tissue paper, I'm able to use these bottom two drawers for my wrapping station, and I just love this closet now. I can see everything, I can find everything, and it's definitely not cluttered anymore. Now, it has been a minute since I've really shown our little coffee sitting room and our coffee closet, but you know, that's one good thing about doing a project and making a YouTube video about it. I can always go back and look and see how long it's been. Well, the last time I organized this coffee closet was February of last year, and it is still working. It still looks the same. And is that because I'm so neat and tidy? No, probably not. I truly think it's because I set it up in zones, and I truly just kept the essentials in here. Y'all remember, I had little draperies in here and stuff all over the top shelf. I don't know if I was trying to make it look like a coffee shop in this closet or what I was thinking, but I'll tell you, the easiest way to stay organized is to have less stuff to organize. Now, I did do a quick tidy up of this linen closet. I decluttered a couple of sets of sheets. All of our beds are the same size, so I really don't need a lot of different sets of sheets. Most of the time, after someone uses the sheets, I just wash them and put the same ones back on anyway. Now, over here in the guest bathroom, I had this set up before where I had all the cleaning supplies here. Then I started keeping towels and cleaning cloths here too to make it a little bit more convenient to do a quick tidy up. And I did move all of my Kleenex and toilet paper over here closest, to the area that you might need those things. So that setup didn't change. However, all of these drawers were empty. But I realized I had toiletries for guests in the basement bathroom if they came. But if they stayed in the guest room up here, I didn't have anything. So I organized some toiletries over here, and I did move a hairdryer, which gave me more room in my bathroom, which I'll show you. And then I did put some washcloths and hand towels here. And one thing I always like to do is put a darker color. That way, if they use them to clean their makeup, they don't feel bad about dirtying up the cloth. And then here in the next drawer, I put some extra towels. And then in the bottom drawer, I left it empty. And this is becoming a theme in my home, leaving it empty. Now, as far as these cabinets over here, there's not much in here. I've got a few extra towels. I've got some bath mats, but really what I'm looking to do is have empty cabinets. And it just seems like it works better if they use the drawers. This is kind of a tight area over here behind the door. That's why I think the drawers are a better solution. And I'm just getting more empty cabinets all the time. Now here in the guest room, at one time, some of these drawers were filled with different random things. Actually, the majority of these drawers were, but they all are empty now. And the only thing I will occasionally do is I'll use these to hide Christmas presents, but I guess I won't be doing it now since it's not a secret and I've announced it. But this closet was definitely my nemesis. It became a catch-all for everything. And what I did was set this up into zones. And if an item didn't belong in one of these zones, it couldn't come in the closet. I set up a travel zone, a keepsake zone, and a clothing zone. And it really has changed everything. Now, if you've been here a while, you know that I have designated this box for greeting card storage, and I used to keep boxes and boxes of greeting cards, but now I only keep what will fit in this box, and when the box is full, I look at them again, and then I toss them out. And it looks like it's time to do that again, and I'm going to give myself a deadline. Before this video airs, I will be able to close this box again. I'm not letting it get out of hand like I did before. Now, as far as our primary bedroom, aside from organizing all of our clothes, our organization systems up here have really remained the same. I mean, I've tweaked the decor just a little bit, but pretty much the bedroom has stayed just the same. I did my pajamas on the bottom drawer when I did my clothing, but as far as the top drawer, once I compartmentalized and put things in little categories and containers, it stayed nice and organized, and my husband's nightstand has too. Now, over here, I don't know, there hasn't really been many changes in this cabinet. It's really been kind of a hodgepodge of things. We keep a few extra blankets. There's a box of essential oils, a few candles, miscellaneous things, but it's been working fine. So if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. Coming around to the closet, and it is still looking good. And if you'll remember, this was the second declutter I did, so it has been over a month and the systems are working. I folded my jeans, put them in a bin, and turned the bin on its side, and I know y'all probably thought I was a wackadoodle for doing that, but it's been working. And my t-shirt drawers, well, they look just like they did the day I decluttered. Now, as far as the bathroom goes, I do want to show you a few things that I've done that are a little bit different in here. I've been working on this little corner cabinet, and what I really like to do is keep cleaning products in here for a quick cleanup. It's right when you walk in the door. You can just open the cabinet and go, but it is triangle shaped, so things tend to get pushed to the back. And you know, if I could get a Lazy Susan in there, I definitely would, but I've tried to organize it, a quick clean on the top shelf and deeper cleaning items I put on the bottom shelf. And this cabinet underneath my sink, what I used to have was all of my towels pushed to one side, and then over on the right side, what I kept were my hot rollers. Well, now that I've done some major decluttering, I got rid of those curling irons, I moved a hairdryer into the guest bathroom. Now I have room to keep my hot rollers in here. So really, I've set this whole drawer up for hair care, and then the top drawer above it is hair care as well. So everything's combined together, and it's been working very well. And it gave my towels a lot more room to breathe. I could spread everything out, and it looks so much nicer now. Now over in this closet, another triangle closet, I did do something a little bit different. Now for years I've had this set of drawers, had it labeled, everything's been easy to find, and I've also had this double Lazy Susan where I've kept supplements, pain relief, things like that, but I have never had this extra Lazy Susan, and I have set this up just for my skincare. Now I did have skincare down in one of these little totes, but I was constantly having to open the tote, then the tote would get pushed to the bottom, and then I'd have to move the totes, and I wanted to wash my face and have a place where I could keep everything upright, where I could just grab it and then move it over to the sink, because if I couldn't make it easy, I knew I would not do it. Now, I still do have a lot of my moisturizers and things like that for my skin over in the vanity, but as far as washing my face and having a routine, I needed it to be over here where I could just grab it and take it to the sink and do it. And since I have made that change, I've been much better about my skincare. And the Lazy Susan, yes, it's one of those $1.25 Dollar Tree Lazy Susans, and I just love it. Now, as far as the kitchen goes, there's a few changes over here, but the majority of the changes are made at the coffee bar. And I do have a few things in the top cabinets that aren't normally there. That's because I have the Valentine decor out, and once I put it away, I'll bring a lot of those things that are in the top cabinets back to their regular place. But as far as organizing this area, I did make a few changes. And now the top drawer, it's still just like it was before. It has stayed the same. And the second drawer, it has stayed the same as well, and I haven't added any mail or any extra things in there, but the two bottom drawers I have changed. Now this used to be in the bottom drawer, and it was real easy for me to fill it up because it was a bigger drawer at the bottom. So what I did is I decluttered those two notebooks. They are gone, and I am keeping this bottom drawer empty. The biggest drawer that I could fill the most, I'm keeping it empty. I think I know myself, so I think that's the best plan. And over here, I've always kept extra coffee supplies and a few little appliances, but what I did do differently is I put it in zones and I divided it up, and I have coffee on one side on the left, and on the right, I have my teas. I used to have loose tea packets and things would fall in the cracks, so I've got it organized, and I've got coffee on one side and tea, so it's really kind of a coffee and tea bar now. Over on this side, there's no real changes. It's still working best for us to have our air fryer right here, and I keep the liners right with it, and I do the same thing with my crock pots and roasters. I keep the liners with the appliance I'm going to use it for, and I do have a couple of other small appliances down here. I don't use them a lot, but I use them enough I don't feel like I can declutter them. At least, not yet. Now over here is my baking drawer, and I did do some decluttering out of here, but I probably need to do a little bit more because, friends, evidently I don't have enough stress in my life because I have decided I'm going to try my hand at making sourdough. And I don't want to invest in a lot of the fancy sourdough contraptions, but I am going to purchase a sling, and I do want to have this area hold those items since it is right here by where I keep all of my baking supplies. So I probably do need to free up just a little bit more space in that drawer. As far as my top cabinets, I love the organization system. I love the bins. I can see everything. I love the labels. It's aesthetically pleasing to me. My food is staying fresh. So I love that, and I don't see myself changing that. But I did have to go through here and work on my canned goods because I got a little bit lax and I was just putting things in. So I had to kind of rezone everything. Top is protein. Next is canned vegetables. Then the third layer down is pretty much sauces and olives, and I do store my bread and tortillas there. And the bottom is soup and packets and pasta, and that's been working well. I just had to kind of refresh the system a little bit. Now, I have had some of you ask me, what did you end up doing with the shelves over by the toaster? Well, as of today's date, a month later, Absolutely nothing. I think it's okay just being blank. Maybe I'll move the toaster down to kind of center it in that area, but other than that, I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now, as far as the glasses go, I decluttered some glasses over the left. I still have the empty spot, but truthfully, I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter about half of these glasses on the bottom shelf. We don't need that many, so I guess I'm just going to have an extra blank space in that cabinet. But so far, everything that I've organized and decluttered has been staying just as I did it a few weeks ago. Now, as far as the office goes, the organizing that I set up really has stayed, but what is different is I do have a lot more empty shelves now that I've come in here and decluttered again since I initially did this office. Now, I do have some things that I'm going to add in here that I picked up with my Christmas gift cards, but I did want to eliminate more things out of here than I would be bringing in. And what prompted all of this is I started adding gold touches over here on my side. So really what I want to do is hopefully in the next week or two is start adding more gold touches around other parts of the room. I did declutter some books off the bottom shelf. Now, as far as this little organizing little setup that I set up for me, it has been working well. The container is holding everything. I've added a few more things because I found more little things that I'm using and that I needed, but everything's staying neat and tidy. I've got a charging station, and what I set up for my husband over on his side in his desk, that's working well too. I didn't make any changes up top here. This is kind of our bulk storage. We can find everything we need. I love the big print labels, so that's working well. So as far as the office, I think it's ready. And hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to get in here and do a few decor updates. Now, this is one area that we made what I would call a decor and organization change, and I showed it last week, and I made a short over it, but really we switched out a big, bulky nightstand, dark furniture, for this light, small, compact one, and we've been keeping our hats and gloves in here, and we're loving it. Now, it's only been a week, but so far, so good. Now here in the laundry room, I have made a lot of changes since I initially came in here and decluttered and organized. They're small changes, but they have made a world of difference. Now on this side of the cabinet, it's an actual laundry chute, but we don't utilize it that way. We have these storage drawers in here, and this has been working well, but just the tiniest change of switching drawers has made a big difference for me because I used to have the cleaning materials up top, but I found that I was getting in this drawer more often, so I just switched the drawers. Now I can access that drawer easier and I can fold things up in there a little bit nicer. Now on this side, this has always been all of my cleaning supplies. Well, I went through and kind of revamped my organization. At the very top are things that I hope I don't have to use, like Drano and rust remover. Then the next shelf down is like holiday soaps, my Cascade refills, things that I don't get to very often. And then here are my bulk items, like my big containers of cleaners. So why not put the spray bottles there? Because those are probably the products I'm going to put in the spray bottles. So I used to have those under the sink. And then right here, I keep everything that I grab for more often. It has been such a game changer. And down here, I used to have those spray bottles. Well, since they're up top, what I decided to do was move my paper towels that used to be over above the washer and dryer over here because it makes sense. I'm going to grab the paper towels, maybe to wipe out the sink or to grab the Windex. And here on the countertop, I used to have my little scent beads. I had them in a nice little pretty decanter because I like to keep the lid off because it made the room smell well. But it's just not practical because it was so far away from the washer. So what I did, I moved them over here, and I have the room now because I moved the paper towels somewhere else. So I can just grab a pod, the scent booster beads, throw them in there, and I'm good to go. So it really is just about putting everything where it's easy access and where I can find everything. And it was small changes, but let me tell you, things are running a lot smoother now. The last thing I want to show you is the junk drawer, and it is pretty much the same. It's still organized, but I did switch up some of the trays so that I could have the items that I grab for the most on the right side of the drawer, since that's closest to the door. That way I could just come in, grab the item, and go. It's all about convenience. Well, Tidy Uppers, that's a wrap for today. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have made it to the end, you are seeing me in glasses probably for the first time on YouTube. I have contacts, but you know, they were just not working today. And I couldn't even make it just 2 more minutes. I had to get them out of there. The contacts were not contacting. And if you know, you know. I sure do appreciate you guys being here. Please take care of yourself. And until I see you in the next one, stay tidy.